everybody, welcome back to another episode of First and Last to Sweaty Room Week 2. We're in it.
Sweaty.
It's so hot in here. I think it's hotter than last week.
I don't know. We're only in part 1.
It at least rained right before we recorded, so the humidity went away.
I'm wearing a sweater. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, I can't understand your life sometimes. It's crazy. With me, I have Joe.
Hey, man.
And Claire.
Hi.
Jimmy is saving alligators in the bayou.
Yeah, something like that.
He just really loves marine life in all forms.
He really does.
Yeah. So whales are all saved. All the whales in the world are good. Jimmy's done with those. Saving gators now. American.
Those gators.
Hello, gators. Joe, for those who are uninitiated, how does this podcast work?
We take a TV show, try to learn as little about it by watching only the first and last episode. And then we make a snap judgment on it and a snap judgment on the people who like that show.
Mm-hmm.
So judgy. I don't know if I'm ready to be that judgmental today.
That's okay. Me and Joe got this.
I know.
I usually try to read a little bit of the Wikipedia.
To learn a little bit.
Yeah, to learn a little bit about like the origins, but without like getting any spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just reading the Wikipedia on this show, and there were too many like large. I think maybe the names were too long that I got lost interest and I just shut it down.
So to start off, we're doing a fan show.
Yeah, I mean, she's never listened to the podcast.
She's listened to it before.
Sure. Kendall, when you're hearing this for the first time.
Fan of the show, Kendall, is suggested that we do Gossip Girl.
Yeah.
Which, the minute Claire told me we were doing Gossip Girl, I immediately went to IMDb and typed in Gilmore Girls. Because I don't know the difference between those two shows.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only difference I know is that I watched Gilmore Girls and I did not watch Gossip Girls.
Fair enough.
Gossip Girl's a WB show, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think so.
Gilmore Girls a WB show?
Yes.
Wait, yes.
Gilmore Girls is WB.
I think, are they both
or
WB?
CW. They're CW.
Well, that's the same thing.
I don't know.
I don't know.
UPN 9.
It's based on a series of books. That's as far as I got.
Which one? Gossip?
Gossip.
Okay.
The one
where-
the one that's GG.
Oh,
None
got
of
it.
you guys have seen it.
No.
Oh, perfect. Good
Yeah.
choice, Kendall.
Yeah.
We're all going in blind.
So, I mean, this show came out in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
So, depending on how we were all doing in our academics, some of us were in college, just finished it, somewhere around there.
Sure.
It's like just post-college, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Joe is still in college and he's just trying not to call out his age.
You're kind of a young boy.
12 years ago? That was a long time.
Yeah. And you were still
You're
in...
old. You're old.
Okay, I am. That's fine.
I mean, really, the only thing I know about the show is Blake Lively's in it.
I didn't even know who that was, and then you went through this whole wormhole, and we got stuck between Ryan Gosling and Ryan Reynolds, and they're not the same person.
Well,
very much not the same person.
No, they're not the same person. They're
So
both...
who is she with? Blake Lively. I thought she was a country music singer. Also rude.
No, not true.
Also not okay.
That's Blake Shelton.
Yeah.
Oh.
Married to some other guy with the last name Shelton, right? No.
Sure.
Or what's his name? It's really not important.
Okay, Blake Lively. Who is she with?
Ryan Reynolds.
But she has a crazy long name for this show.
It's like Serena Van Voldemort or something like that.
So that
Exactly.
makes
That's
more
why
sense.
I stopped reading the Wikipedia.
Yeah.
It was too long.
Maybe when we're watching, we'll be like, oh yeah, 2007. This was the year of all of these names. I knew so many people with these names.
I literally did read her last name and what her name is in the show, and like halfway through, I was like, "This is too long. This is too long of a name.
Yeah.
She better be a wizard or something."
I hope.
Are they wizards? I think it's just going to be like people shopping and rich.
Shopping and rich.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I think
get the
it's-
figure. I get the picture. They're rich also.
I've never seen One Tree Hill, but I assume this is pretty similar to that.
One Tree Hill is like poor people though, ish,
Oh,
and
is
he
it?
was like good at basketball.
They
Luke
only got
liked
one
it.
tree
All
in
right,
that
all
house.
Luke, shout out to you.
All right.
I know you love some One Tree Hill.
Then I think it's like Seventh Heaven.
No, Seventh Heaven.
All right, now I think it's like Party of
Why
Five.
didn't I pick Seventh Heaven? I don't know anything about Party of Five, so like I'm not privy to that one. Although it's
like-
about a family, this is going to be about friends.
Only thing I know about Party of Five is Naomi Campbell. No,
Yeah.
Nev Campbell.
Nev Campbell.
Yeah.
Uh,
Not Naomi. you're
known
right.
for Scream,
Mm-hmm.
of Scream fame. Yeah. So literally, I don't. Yeah, I'm assuming they're young. This is 2007.
Mm-hmm.
So
Are they going to be woke?
What?
And for the,
You're gonna have to define what you mean by that question.
Okay. No, I just heard that people are sick of that word, so
Claire,
now
this
I'm
is a
going to try to use
pre-Obama
it.
world, okay?
Okay, truth,
Yeah.
right?
They
That
even
is
had like the housing market's doing great.
Oh, but
Well-
maybe there'll be some drama in this about them being so wealthy. Maybe they lose all their money.
Well, maybe we can.
I hope to God they do.
Maybe we can derive one thing. All we know is that Blake Lively's in this show,
Mm-hmm.
and it starts in 2007. What I do know, we're gonna sleuth this, okay?
Yep.
Blake Lively was born in 1987, which means she was 20.
You know this?
Yes.
Yeah, he
Okay.
looked this all up.
When she was in Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants in 2005.
This is very detailed.
She took time out of high school to do that, and then she went back where she was like a cheerleader in valedictorian or something like that.
In a movie?
No,
She was in
in
the
real life.
choir
In real
and did
life.
cheerleading. And
She
it
did
was
something else.
the Wikipedia for her, or was it Wikipedia that
No,
you're
it
reading?
was just her IMDb profile.
Okay, but somebody wrote that for her, cared about this human so much. It was just glowing. It is like what I hope someone writes as a letter of recommendation for me.
I mean,
Probably
could,
Blake herself, right?
if you'd like to, I could
Publicist,
create
maybe?
you an IMDb page, Claire.
I mean, I don't need to pay. No one needs to Google me. Like, I'm the only one out there with my name. It's rough times. So no. Thank you, though. I appreciate you.
I bet there's one other Claire Z in the world.
I've looked.
Seasoned.
I've literally looked this up. Oh, you just said my whole fucking name again.
You've said it before on this podcast.
It's
It's out.
I
Bleep it.
learned my lesson.
So she's 20, so she would be a middle college something technically, or early college
I think
something.
she's gonna play high school.
Think they're gonna be high
She's
school?
gonna be playing
Yeah.
like a 16, 17-year-old high
let's
school.
let's all decide this: high school or college.
High school.
High school.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say I'll go college just because
Okay.
I want to see.
Okay, Joe and I are obviously right, so it's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you want this to be a college life? So
Me-
she's living in a dorm
I
or
could
like
see,
living
like,
in an apartment on her own.
first day of freshman in college.
Okay. I'm still saying high school.
She's going to.
Is Blake the gossip girl?
I
Are
don't-
they like solving a mystery or crime?
Yeah, is this like the Hardy Boys or like the boxcar children?
I was
There?
Or
Kinda
the
thinking-
sister at a traveling pants? Won't they solve a mystery? I don't know. I've
Yeah,
never
I was
seen
kind of
that
thinking
either.
the mystery is who is the gossip girl.
Oh, like
Like-
one of them is this evil spirit?
Like one of them.
Wow, why did you go like ghouls?
I don't know, man.
Why can't it just be a girl that likes to spread rumors?
It's really
Yeah.
hot in here.
I think it's
okay?
like Zynga.com/gossip girl, and like people are trying to figure out who's this gossip girl that's
Oh,
like
so you think it's like
gossiping about
like a
people.
MySpace
Oh,
Like
I
someone's
like
blogging?
that.
Mm-hmm.
thing? Because this was good.
Like
this
a
was,
slam book,
Yeah,
Oh God, yeah.
but online.
it's yeah, we call it Zynga.
Whatever you.
No,
my
nobody knows
Zynga
what you're
too.
talking about.
Give me 2 e-props if you know what Zynga is.
Weep weep. They didn't actually make sounds,
No,
but
it didn't. Yeah.
like I tried.
I mean, this is like right in the height of like this is like when you had to have a college email to get Facebook.
To get into the Facebook,
Yeah.
yeah. And it was still the Facebook.
Yeah. Because Sean Spicer or whatever that guy's name
That's
that created
That's literally like about the time I stopped using the Facebook.
The
was
Facebook.
Once it was, yeah,
not cool anymore, not elite.
it was real cool. I'm just
Claire
not
only
cool
does
enough.
things that are elite.
Shh.
Okay, so we got
No.
high school. We got high school. I think college.
She's big on Google Plus.
I like there's a gossip person via blog or online forum.
Mm-hmm.
I
They're
like
gonna
that.
figure out who it is.
And it's
Right.
Blake Lively or what?
Yeah,
That's the only person we know from this whole show. I don't even know who she is.
There's a guy named Chase, except he spells it CHACE.
I hate him. I hate
Yeah,
him so
right?
much.
Stop reading that Wikipedia.
What state? Do you think they're in like California? Because they're always in California.
I think it's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
say
New
New
York.
York. Yeah.
Oh, so you guys are
Oh.
New York high school kids, and I'm a California college girl.
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
They're living in the city.
Yeah, it's definitely city living. I feel it. Watch it be like Philadelphia, Cincinnati. No, if it was Cincinnati, I would have known.
What's the biggest issue they face in this first episode? Like, is there a murder, or like, does someone lose a bracelet? Like, what is?
I was thinking like stolen shoe, so like I'm
Okay.
clearly on the stolen bracelet.
You're
end.
more on the bracelet
Yeah.
side. All right.
I was thinking it was gonna be something sexy, like someone's pregnant or something.
Oh,
Okay. So
why
Joe-
is that sexy? I'm
Joe's
not
going-
sure.
so
Because
you-
sex is involved. That's what I meant.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
mean like sexy as in like arousing. I meant sexy as in like sex-ish.
Okay.
I wish we had a video of you saying arousing the way you did, like with a dance move.
So Claire's going
hips.
stolen items. Joe's going sexual situations. And
What
you know
are
what?
you-
I'll
murder.
Go murder.
Murder.
I'll go murder. Yeah.
Someone got murdered.
I really wish I
I
would
hope
have
that they're
written
solving that crime the whole series.
who stole Claire's bracelet and then murdered her and then had sex with the prom queen.
I mean, Law and Order was really big at this time, so it could totally be murder.
Where was NYPD butts at this situation?
Wow, remember how many butts were in that opener?
One or two butts.
Yeah.
So many butts.
It's hard to tell whose butt was butt.
It was really clear to
Joe
tell
had a
whose butt
sexual
was it.
scenario with a man's butt.
Oh my god. He was all drunk and ate that sock. Okay, anyway. That's a whole nother show, people.
I think we're just ready to get into it.
Let's do
right?
it.
We have a lot of shit flying around. If I can remember, when I get to a piece of paper, I'll write down what we all think is going to happen.
Let's do
and then
it.
we'll review it. But we will see you after the pilot episode of Gossip Girl.
You almost said Gilmore.
I just wanted to make sure I was right.
You're right. Gossip Girl.
And we're back. And I am the Gossip Girl.
You could be.
XOXO.
You know you love me.
I know you like to blog.
I'm the Gossip Girl.
Oh no, I dropped my pen. Pass it, Joe.
But we are done with the first episode. Immediate thoughts, everybody, on what you just witnessed?
I think I'm still like really creeped out by the rape scene, but other than that,
I think that's the intended purpose.
I don't think they were gonna be like, man, people are gonna think this guy's cool. Like,
I don't know, 2007, that's like how most guys acted, so
Yeah, one of my predictions is by the end they're cool with this guy. Spoiler alert for predictions.
spoiler alert, that's one of my predictions.
I went
reminded
completely
me
the
of-
opposite. I went he's in jail, so
No, he's absolutely like they're tight with him because
Ugh.
the same thing in Lost. Like we did Lost on the show, and then I went back and tried to watch some Lost, and like Sawyer is an awful human, and then by like season 3, or like not even season 3, like by the end of season 1, they're just like, oh, he's like rapey and disgusting, but he's been through some things, so it's fine.
It's kind of true, you know.
But like they stopped having him be rapey and disgusting.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
So like
well,
maybe that's like a sign that
It ends up
TV
not being rapey because he has sex with a girl he wanted to have sex with anyway.
I don't think I,
forget
like
the name
that
of
show.
Oh, it was Kate. Kate, yeah. They made Kate is an awful character in Lost. Yeah.
Wow, I don't really know, but I feel like it's at least a good thing with TV that we stopped portraying male characters as like these. It's cool to rape people, and I get away with it.
Well, I think the difference is it was clearly bad, right? Like okay. we haven't talked at all about like
I mean,
let me finish this point, I
this
guess,
is
and then
important.
we'll go back.
Yeah, this is important.
Because like before we get into like what actually happened in the show, like there's a lot of this guy Chuck being like rapey to like multiple women on the show, and by rapey I mean like literally like sexually assaulting them.
Like they're saying no clearly, and he's like
Yeah.
pushing himself.
And
on
in the
them.
universe of this show and in the universe of 2007, it's clearly bad. But I think what the difference is that in the world of 2007, there's still room for that guy to come back and be cool with the rest of the characters within a few episodes. That wouldn't happen today. But I mean, that's
I don't know, but I don't know about that age. Like intellectually, when you're in high school and you're like a 17-year-old, you don't have that mental ability to like classify all of that as gross because you're still trying to be cool around people.
Mhm.
So like the fact that like that girl in that scene like reached out for help and like got people to come and like stop this incident from happening.
mean, both girls he did that to, both were clearly like, this is not okay, and I need to leave.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still on the show and not getting in trouble, you know?
Well,
and
I mean,
there's
he
still
went-
people shrugging him off knowing that he's like being like this.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I feel like that would not fly in 2019, and I don't think it should fly. Because I think that kids who watch TV and watch shows like this, like, don't pick up on what we just picked up on. Like, this guy is clearly gross. He stopped doing, like, people see him as still like, oh, this is how guys can treat females.
well,
and
I think
that is a problem.
I think it's clearly shown as bad.
Yeah, but the bad guy is so cool in high school.
I know. That's what there's nuance to this. It's clearly shown as bad, but it's not a disqualifying thing. It's just like, oh, if he apologizes, he's cool.
Yeah, I hope that he's in jail, but that's just my prediction.
No, they're going to be tight with him.
Gross.
Yeah,
I will
mean,
not watch this show if that is
I'd
the
love
case.
him to take the way of the felon, like, you know, and they're like, where, like, last episode, they're like, where's Chuck? He's like, he's serving 10 years. Like, that's what I would like for him to do.
Remember that rooftop?
But he's also, like, on the thumbnail of the show. Like,
Yeah.
he's in the show.
Mm-hmm.
In jail. It's going to happen. What happened in this episode?
Okay, I got a thing. First episode was called Pilot because the writers of the show are fucking lazy. And the write-up is, the privileged prep school teens on Manhattan's Upper East Side first learn that Serena van der Woodsen is back in town. The way they learn all the important news in their lives from the blog of the all-knowing, albeit ultra-secretive, Gossip Girl. No one knows Gossip Girl's identity, but everyone in this exclusive and complicated vicious circle relies on her website and text messages for the latest scoop. So she just, everyone's on
So
like
that's a mass text?
Yeah, there's a mass text apparently on their Razor scooters.
That's
Oh, man.
weird.
Even Serena's closest friend, Blair Waldorf,
You
is
had to pay for those texts. Let's go back
Oh
to
yeah,
that.
right. But even Serena's closest friend Blair Waldorf is surprised to find that Serena has suddenly ended her self-imposed exile to boarding school and returned to Manhattan. I believe boarding school was in Connecticut.
It was.
Once the Upper East Side's most notorious party girl, Serena's reasons for returning are mysterious. Although they have been something to Although they may have something to do with her younger brother Eric. Whatever the reason, the change in Serena is obvious, especially to Blair, whose friendship with Serena has always been competitive and difficult.
Okay, but like maybe has something to do with Eric. Eric, her brother's in the hospital because he tried to kill himself. Like maybe a reason she came home.
Yeah. Also, Eric looks like Joe's old
Former
roommate, former roommate.
Yeah.
I think he looks like a little like the guy from Backstreet Boys, Nick, his little brother. It was like trying to be like
Aaron Carter.
He looks just like that guy.
Okay, I could see that too.
Yeah. Okay.
More so than your old roommate.
I used to be roommates with Aaron Carter. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. But Serena.
I don't know if that's like a thing to prop yourself up about.
I mean, Serena went to boarding school in Connecticut because she hooked up with Blair's boyfriend Nathaniel
who was a virgin.
at a wedding,
Ooh.
or something like that. Because there is a lot of underage drinking.
Yes.
People just served them, like they were
And
just
it's like
literally
ordering fancy drinks. They're not getting themselves like.
Yeah, Blair was just drinking a Manhattan in a bar,
Yeah.
like in a hotel.
Well,
Even
she
I
was
don't
drinking
that.
like a dirty martini with an olive in it.
Oh yeah, that.
And like in my head, I was just like, lol, it's just water with an olive in it. But then I started thinking like, as like a prop on a TV show, like usually if they're drinking booze, it's like some sort of juice or something. But if it's a martini with an olive in it, like
It's probably just water.
yeah, it's probably just olive water, right? That's gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's like a young pup trying to fake that.
I mean, I
she's drinking.
assume they're all juniors to seniors in high school,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
except for
Except
Jenny.
for that, yeah,
She's a freshman.
Jenny
Um,
Humphreys. What do you guys think? Like, did they touch on in your write-up? I like zoned out. Let's
Yeah,
be
you did,
honest.
apparently.
About like the dad, the music dad,
No.
musician / artist Rufus.
Well, there's like
There's a lot of
there's a
stuff
lot of
going
fucking
on.
characters. They just introduce a lot of people. So there's Rufus, who is a dad of Dan and Jenny.
Mm-hmm.
Jenny is the girl who got sexually assaulted by Chuck.
Mm-hmm.
And Dan is like what is that Kevin Spacey movie where the guy films the bag floating in the air? A Beautiful American. What is it called?
American Beauty.
American Beauty.
Yeah.
Dan's like creepy shy kid from who no one knows,
Yeah.
and he like pines after Blair.
They're
Felix,
both
way
of the Humphreys.
too cool to be like a like both of them look too cool to be losers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I was
but-
gonna say. Is both of the Humphreys in the context of this school, they're like unknowns. Like nobody
Right.
knows them.
Well, when you're when you fly in a school of just well dressed cool kids, even a well dressed cool kid becomes a loser. Like
Yeah.
not everyone's cool.
Mm-hmm.
In a group of 100 people that look exactly the same, 25 suck for everybody else, even though they're literally just like the other 100 people. It's just how life works.
Yeah. He had short hair, so
Yeah.
wasn't trendy at the time.
And then there was Serena, main character, who's Blake Lively, and then she came back because her brother Eric apparently tried to commit suicide.
Oh, I thought that was Blair. Which one's Blair then?
That's
Blair
friend.
is her friend.
Okay.
That's the one whose dad.
Brown hair.
So her dad left the family to go with another woman.
Okay.
And
But that's why she has to stay with the guy.
and Blair,
So Selma and Blair? Serena and Blair?
Selma Blair is a person.
S&B.
And Blair is dating Nathaniel, who had the relations with Serena before she went off to boarding school.
And Nathaniel is the guy who looks like the main character from Team America.
Matt Damon? No, who? What?
Yeah, just like the main puppet from Team America. He looks like that
I
guy.
can see that. Yeah.
But what? So his dad was pressuring him to go to college, and his dad was also pressuring him to stay in a relationship with Blair, which I thought was really creepy and uncomfortable.
At one point Nathaniel was like jogging with his dad.
Was it Dartmouth that he wants to go to
Yeah, because
Dartmouth?
his dad went to Dartmouth, yeah.
And then his dad was like, "So I heard you and Blair had a fight, but you should stay with her because I'm like gonna hook up with I'm gonna like make a business deal with like Blair's mom, and if you make Blair sad, then the business deal won't happen.
Yeah, man. Do what's best for business.
Don't ruin the family, son." And it's like, dude,
That's terrible.
that's bad dad. That's being a bad dad.
Or a savvy businessman.
Oh,
I mean,
gross.
hey, business is business, but he's also that kid's dad. And then, also Dan looks. So you said Nathaniel looks like the Team America guy,
Yeah.
but Dan looks like a discount Freddie Prinze Jr.
I could see that.
Like he just looks like you took all of the detail out of Freddie
When
Prinze
you were
Jr.
saying that, though, I thought you were talking about his dad.
Mm-mm.
I thought you were saying like Rufus looked like, because they both kind of look like different stages of Freddie Prinze Jr. Like different time periods.
Well, Rufus might look like Freddie Prinze Jr. now.
Yeah. What do you think Chuck looks like?
God, he looks
A
like
rapist?
somebody. No, but he looks like somebody like in a music scene or like I don't know.
Yeah,
I've seen
he's
that
giving
guy
me some
before.
like Panic at the Disco vibes.
Yes, it could be the haircut.
Well, when you say shotgun, I say wedding.
I asked that because on the IMDb I read that he auditioned for the role. The guy who played Chuck auditioned for the role of auditioned for the role of Dan, like the main love interest. Mm-hmm. But the producers thought he looked too much like a serial killer.
Oh, good. I agree.
So they cast him as Chuck instead.
Well,
The role of serial killer.
Yeah.
I feel like the least exciting character of this whole thing so far has been Nathaniel. Like his acting has been the lowest range, and he had a lot of things to deal with, but it always seemed very. But he's like what, 17-year-old actor.
They're all about 20 or so. They're all about Blake Lively's age, but he definitely struck me as someone
Like in real life.
Yeah, in real life. He definitely struck me as someone like who's not gonna last to the end of the show just because like he can't cut it acting wise.
Well, he's really pretty.
Yeah.
He's very pretty, but because I was pretty impressed with some of the acting in this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like it makes more sense to why so many people I know like love the show or like had a moment for it, even though I've always thought it was like weak sauce. Might have to go back and we'll have to see. Depends on if Chuck's still in the show at the end, man. I'm sorry. I'm a deep no.
It's not exactly high art, but it's put together with care and it's not trash. You know what I mean? Like it could easily just be trash.
Yeah. What do you think about that soundtrack?
I was surprised how much like money they had for like actual licensed music.
Lot of JT.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I wrote it was great. I thought it was nice. I wonder if it's going to continue or if it's just because also sometimes they'll have the original music on like the pilot saved on Netflix, but like the rest of the episodes they won't. It'll be like B-list music.
We might be getting
Past
into
that.
2007, 2012 where when they were formatting their like contracts for music that they're like, we know streaming's going to be a thing. So
I hope so.
Because they do that now for like video games and stuff like that where they don't get rid of them.
Oh, fun facts.
Yeah. On the note of it, having licensed music and being not trash, even though it could be trashy, it's created by the creators from the OC.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I could see that.
They
It's
got some
kind of-
good tunes, too.
Yeah, it's kind of like, New York OC. Where it's
It
just
kind
rich,
of is, actually.
rich kids doing dramatic stuff.
I haven't seen a lot of the OC, so I can't speak to it. But, yeah, it seems like it.
I've seen the first and last.
There you go. That's all you need.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, once again, I just was so enamored with all the cell phones because there was like the
You
T-Mobile
called out
Sidekick.
every single one. You're
There's-
like, there's a razor.
There was a Razor. I used to have a Riser,
Oh, yeah.
which is a little. It was just a
My
little bit
brother
cooler.
had a razor, and like I thought he was trying to be like pompous and had to get like the most expensive phone, and like I had like the shit phone.
You had the Nokia brick still.
I didn't even have the Nokia. I had like the brand below that.
I don't
Like,
even know what
it
that
would,
was.
Like, it had like a glitter plate. It was
Both
terrible.
my parents had jobs.
Okay, wow. I paid for my own phone. But no, man, that razor made me a little jealous. And then did somebody have like Blackberries and stuff? I feel like they're in that era.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just thought about that girl in the very beginning when like Serena arrived and she took like a picture of her from like downstairs in like Central Station.
You know that picture is gonna be pixelated as
Yeah,
ever.
I was like, ain't no way. You got like a zoom lens on that
yeah,
camera
you
that we
can't
can't
even
see?
tell who that is.
There's no way. The picture looked perfect.
So do you think at the end they're gonna be like on like iPhones?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. 2012? Yeah.
All right,
That's the start of a smartphone era for sure.
let's have some iPhones.
Mhm.
I mean, that's well beyond the start of the cell phone
Yeah.
era, especially for rich people.
I mean, I would say right now, just
Like
based.
they need iPhones like next season if they're gonna like stick with.
I don't know when
times.
the first iPhone came out. 2009? Sounds right to me.
I don't know, man.
Sounds right to me. Just randomly guessing.
You can write into that.
I
and
would
let
say-
us know.
I would say just watching this first episode right now, I'm not hooked on this show. Like I would be like, okay, whatever. It just seems like a high school.
Yeah, you're not into this.
I'm not. I'm just not into like rich high school kids like dealing with their rich dumb dramas. It's like not
Which-
my thing.
Which they've said that more and more, like there's this big push to have a lot of TV, like Kardashian area, where it was like everybody watching rich people, and then there's been lately a big backlash, and nobody wants to watch like extremely rich people anymore. Which I feel like this show's on TV right now, people aren't tuning in. People are not going to be tuning into like rich people's problems right now.
I mean, I've never really been into it anyway. Like, I mean, I just can't. There's no part of these like
How could you confuse it with Gilmore Girls is what I still want to know.
just because I had
Very different shows.
just because they're both GG shows and I've never seen either one of them, so I just, who knows. There's still just people just going like, oh, we have problems and we're in high school, but I love him. Oh, but someone might have cheated on somebody, but there is one bad guy. And
There's a lot more drinking in the show.
Well,
and
sure. Rich
texting.
people drink
I
too
don't know.
much.
It's pretty much the same as Golden Girls. I get it. Wait, what?
It's also a great show.
So right now, I wouldn't be hooked. Like you would not sell me on this show with this pilot.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see where we go from there. Should we dive into predictions?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna do mine. I think Rufus, who is Dan and Jenny's dad,
Oh yeah.
and Serena's mom are together.
God damn it! I have the same one.
You can still have it.
I know.
We can order the same thing at
Okay.
the restaurant.
I hate that.
I think Serena is moving to California.
Oh.
I think
I didn't think about moving.
Chuck is a good guy now.
Yeah.
Get out.
I wrote down Chuck as the Piccolo.
I want to, yeah, he'd be the Piccolo. I mean, I want to get a point, so I'm going to say I think Chuck is a good guy. I'd rather my thing said Chuck got shot.
All right. What's your last one?
My last one is, I just, there's so many characters. I just left out so many of them.
Yeah, you really had to.
I was gonna say like Serena and Dan are together. I actually would rather say that I think Blair and Nathaniel are just still together.
Oh yeah.
Like they're just like
vanilla.
the sad couple that are just still together. But I didn't say any of those things. I just
Okay.
went for my Gossip Girl. I think I think her name was. They didn't say her name, but I looked it up.
This is like cheating or something.
Well, I just looked up her name on IMDb. I didn't look
Is
anything
it that
up.
girl from the beginning?
Well, I thought it was her, but I'm not going to go with her. I think that Asian girl that was
At the party?
Friends of
Blair's
Blair?
friend,
Yeah.
I think her name was Nat
Okay.
or something like that.
Okay, they didn't say her
I
name.
think she's the Gossip Girl.
Okay, so random Asian
Random
woman.
Asian Blair's friend. Or no,
Okay.
yeah, Blair's friend. Nat.
Cool.
Believe her name is Nat. Look
All
at
right, well, all of your predictions are wrong because mine are all right.
Perfect.
Although
Perfect.
our first one's exactly the same. Parents are together, Lily and Rufus. Gosh darn it, I'm so mad at the same prediction as you. I also wrote that Chuck is in jail, which you guys already know about, because that's clearly correct.
But he's like wrongly imprisoned for something, right?
No, he's in jail for sexual assault. And he's gonna get his life together. If in the finale he's like gone to jail and is rehabilitated or something, then I might be okay with him.
Okay.
But he needs to have some serious like mental health issue. Like he's got some shit going on. I wrote punches will fly and sex will almost happen because
Sex will also fly.
Asian girl.
almost happen.
Asian girl that I think I'm talking about is named Katie Farkas.
Great.
Like Freddie Farkas, like in the Frontier Pharmacist.
Yeah, exactly like whatever you
Do you
just
guys
said.
know what that? Okay,
Um,
that was like my favorite computer game back in the day.
Katie Farkas.
That's amazing. Do you want to hear my least favorite quote from the show? Because I wrote that down too.
Yes.
It's from Blair's mom. She goes to Blair, "This is the worst parent quote I've ever heard. Well, it's one of many. But you'll never be more beautiful and thin in your life. I want you to enjoy it." And it was basically like talking shit. Like, you look like shit for your party.
Well,
Like,
she was a bad mom.
She's terrible.
I realized something.
What did you
Can I
realize?
retract who I think my Gossip Girl is and change it?
No, you already just said it. You're done. You're
Well,
tied in with Nat Farkas. It is.
I forgot that Michelle Trachtenberg was in this show.
You think she's the Gossip
And I just
Girl?
love Michelle Trachtenberg.
Okay, well, let's
I
go
don't
to
even know what
my-
her character's name is.
My final prediction: Gossip Girl equals brother of Jenny equals Dan.
Oh, you think
Dan.
Gossip Girl's a gossip dude?
Yeah, I think that for sure. It's for sure not a girl.
Nice.
I think it's a
It's Dan.
misdirect.
It's Dan for sure, or it's that shitty ass Chuck. But I'm sticking with Dan.
So, like, when Dan was running into the party to save his sister
Did you
with
not
Serena,
notice, like,
he
half the-
he stopped and was like, "Hey, Serena's here," but he's like, "Where's my sister? Is she getting murdered right now?"
Yes, because he was like they showed you in the episode.
gotta keep
like
up a brand.
he shows up at weird times.
Okay, I like it. That's fine.
Or it's Chuck, and I hate Chuck.
I'm sure the logic doesn't really add up.
Gossip Girl's Michelle
Whoever it
Trachtenberg.
is.
I don't know who that is.
FYI, like in real life, the narrator Gossip Girl is Kristen Bell. That's fun.
She's cool.
Yeah.
I think she's hilarious.
Veronica Mars herself.
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't seen that.
It's
God,
got rebooted, or
Oh,
it's
man.
going on again, or something. I don't know.
aren't
It's
they
all
all?
coming back.
Everything's a reboot.
Live action remake of Veronica Mars. I have that Chuck again he's a real good dude and they're friends with him and he's got jokes and stuff.
Gross.
I have that it's like an OC type flashback where they flash back to back when they were kids.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Is there gonna be okay? Continue.
I think there's a scene that takes place on the Empire State Building because
Fun prediction.
New
They
York
pushed
is a big
Chuck
part of the show.
off of it.
Oh, I don't know if
Shove
I need
him
that.
off. It's like
Who's your gossip
he's
girl?
like King Kong. And then Gossip Girl, I was gonna go with a guy. My first thought, which I scratched out, was Rufus Humphreys.
The dad?
Yeah.
That's so creepy.
Yeah, that'd be creepy and weird.
That might be creepier than Chuck.
Yeah.
But Lily like knew what his son was up to, so like also creepy.
Yeah. So, but then I thought about it, and I just felt it would be like unsatisfying if it was an adult, because then I don't know, just like the kids watching the show would be like, "Fuck, it's the fucking adult. It's gross." So I went with Eric,
Oh, the
Serena's sister.
the Suicide Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Her brother?
Serena's
Yeah.
brother Eric.
Why'd you call it sister?
Brother.
Okay. You said Serena. I got really. I thought maybe he's trans. I don't know. But Eric in the hospital is the gossip girl.
Yeah.
He's using the hospital and the suicide temp as a diversion to be able to follow people around. No one's
Yeah.
looking for him because they think he's in the hospital.
Because it has to be someone who's close to the inner core to know what's going on, right? So he hears her sister talking about stuff. He
Okay.
knows what's going on, but
All
he's not a
right.
part of it.
You're really about this guy.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Sweet.
You know what? You'll never be more beautiful or thin in your life. So I want you
Than
to
you were
enjoy
10 years ago, Joe.
Tight.
And I want you to enjoy it. All right, let's do it.
Let's check out this finale of Gossip Girl. Oh, also really quick before we go, we did a little flow chart of what we thought was going to happen in the first episode,
yeah.
and Joe literally got everything correct.
Boom.
High school, online blog, New York City, sexy situation equals Joe. He guessed all of those.
Pretty much should get a bonus point.
You laid out
Yeah.
you laid out this.
All of that worth nothing.
No, I'll give you a bonus point for that. I think that was
Bonus
worth a bonus point. Mine was college California murder.
Yours-
I couldn't have been more wrong.
Should we give you a negative?
That's actually
point?
the OC.
That's not how that might have been it. No. Joe gets 1 point, we get 0. No negatives.
Oh, okay.
I
was close.
You were in the vicinity, you know. I was literally across the country. So we will see you guys after the finale of Gossip Girl. Bye.
XOXO.
XOXO
With Lava
Girl.
Joe.
Gossip Girl.
Lava Joe. My name's Joe. Don't forget it. And we're done with Gossip Girl.
We're done.
Love you, XOXO. Joe's the Gossip Girl.
Gossip Girl.
We all done. I have to. How do we feel about this episode just in general?
It was the end of the OC.
There was no like. The OC had a lot of clips.
Yeah.
There was really no. I mean, there might have been clips, but these clips are at least integrated. I felt like well.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how Dan looks completely different with hair? Because that's really the most important thing.
Oh, Dan looks great now.
Did he get skinnier too or something?
I
His
think he's
cheekbones come out more.
No, I think maybe, but I think to me he looks very similar, but he just has longer, curlier hair, which I think was more popular.
Where he stretches out his head a little bit more.
But he also, so the minute he shows up, I'm like, no, there's no way that's the guy in the show, because on Netflix there's a show called You, and the main character is him.
Okay.
And he plays this guy that stalks women and murders people.
Mm-hmm.
So he full on stalks people, and he is creepy. And so the whole episode, I don't think I can watch the show because of that. No.
Who's
Dan, the guy Dan.
Oh, he's in a show that's a stalker.
Yeah, and I only could get through a couple episodes of it, and I had to take a break because it was super creepy.
So you can't watch this show because Dan acted in a different show.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
Here we go. I got a little write up.
Yeah. Is it little? Ooh.
Well, I'm only gonna read the top part. If you can see what I'm looking at. This is from the Wikipedia.
You gotta read the 5 years later because I see somebody's name in it.
Fine, I'll read the whole thing. Jesus Christ, it's so long. You just want me to read Lisa Loeb. That's all you want me to write.
Wait, what's her name?
Loeb? Loeb? How the fuck do you say it?
Loeb.
Loeb? Who is she? I literally don't know who this person is.
She's a singer. Google her. You should.
Is she a singer? All right, whatever. It doesn't matter. This is the last episode called New York. I love you. XOXO. Serena decides to come back to New York and confront Dan about the Serena chapter. Chuck proposes to Blair when he is implicated in the death of Bart. Bart is his dad. Georgina joins forces with Jack Bass in one last scheme to help Chuck and Blair. Nate and Sage try to find the identity of Gossip Girl with the information that they have. William Van Der Woodson returns to comfort Lily and rejects Ivy, who finally realizes that William used her just to win Lily back. So I think that guy, that sleazy dude, is just Serena's dad.
Okay. He did make a comment I'm back with the parents of, or the.
And it's
whatever.
weird. I mean, I don't know how this guy is, but he was just the only thing we know about him is this episode, and he was a sleazy, gross, backstabbing dude. And it's cool. Blair, you got a great dad.
And he's a Baldwin brother.
Dorada, Eleanor Waldorf, and Cyrus Rose also become involved in planning Chuck and Blair's improvised wedding. Various characters from previous seasons make cameos, including Vanessa, Juliet, Agnes, and Lola. Kristen Bell has a cameo as herself alongside Rachel Bilson,
Yeah.
Dan is revealed to be Gossip Girl.
I was right.
And then there's a 5 years later, and Dan and Serena get married. And I'm not reading that whole other thing.
And Lisa Loeb's there.
And Lisa Loeb's
Just
there.
because.
Well, no, she's married to Rufus.
Well, she's sitting next to Rufus.
They were clearly a couple. I'm sure if you read that paragraph, it's going to clearly define a role.
Lily and William are finally back together, and Rufus is with Lisa Loeb.
Told ya.
That-
Tells us everything we need
I'd
to
love
know.
if there's like no reference to Lisa Loeb at all in this show except for just that last scene.
I'm like, well, does she she didn't make the music for the show?
No.
Like in some shows I've seen, like the musician from the theme song will
Like
be on.
Vonda Rhymes or whatever.
Oh, and
Vonda Rhymes and Gilmore Girls, they did it as well.
I'll
yeah.
read the last little bit too. In the final shot, a new generation of wealthy Upper East Siders are seen as Constance.
That's the school.
At school, as a new lonely boy walks past his classmates, denoting the beginning of a brand new Gossip Girl. Because you know what? You know who does Gossip Girls better than anybody?
Boys.
Sad, lonely white boys.
I wish you guys could see Josh right now. He's saying this with like his head beating with sweat. And
I'm
he
so
just
hot.
Looks so into this. It's like, calm down. It's okay. No, it's really hot though.
This is fucking intense. I'm the new Gossip Girl.
Tight.
Okay.
Send me
Of
some
the people
texts.
in this room though, I think Joe would be the Gossip Girl.
The most gossipy.
You would be you're like
You're
sneaky
always
like
on
that,
your phone.
but he's not good at like paying attention to other people, so I might take that back.
Yeah, I mean, if it was today, it would just be tweets, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Because then anybody can follow
here's the
tweets.
deal. He wouldn't be good at it right away, but once he builds his network, it seems that Gossip Girl, like essentially the entity, runs itself in a way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
he
there's
just has to
just
post
tips.
stuff. He
Yeah.
doesn't even need to
Although
really
he
do anything.
posted about himself, which is just a little creepy.
Well, you got to throw the scent off.
Yeah.
True.
You know, if you
But I called that.
you know when you
just
let
want to say,
you know, like for instance, when you throw your dad off a building, you lie and you
oh, that was weird. He didn't throw him off. He just like let him fall. My other thing is so we just watched the first and last episode, and to me it was
That's
really
what we
clear.
do on this episode.
I know. That's what this podcast is about. But to me it was really clear that Dan was the Gossip Girl, right? Because in the first episode they show you cutting to where he's at, and like apparently you guys didn't see this, but there were clues in that episode that he was the Gossip Girl.
Dan went to go save his sister in the first episode from being sexually assaulted and spent the time to text or tweet or whatever you did in 2007 that
He was in
that
the cab.
that Serena was there.
Okay, anywho.
Dan is now a huge piece of shit.
Well,
he's got his priorities straight.
He's always been a huge piece of shit, as is every male on the show.
I would think I'd go down the line that almost everybody in this show is kind of a big piece of shit.
Yes. Right? Maybe not.
Maybe not Blair. I mean, not Blair. Serena.
What about Jenny?
We don't know anything about Jenny except for that she used Gossip Girl because she like wanted to move and like didn't want people to know, and so she's in London.
She's a piece of shit because she didn't tell the world that her brother was Gossip Girl. She knew.
She protected the Gossip Girl.
But like other than that, there was like some weddings and some like hijinks and stuff like that in the episode. But
There was 2 weddings.
there was a lot of weddings.
Slow the roll.
and
Gossip
both of
Girl.
their
Too
dresses
many
were
weddings.
rough times. Just saying.
Yeah.
Their styles.
It looked like Blair was trying to like cosplay as Elsa from Frozen for her wedding.
It was before that even came out, man.
She was future
She was
thinking.
future.
Yeah.
It was 5 years later. No, that was the other one. That
Yeah,
wouldn't have
it was
worked
still
either.
2012.
Yeah, I don't know. And then there was the weird uncle. There's some new characters that I really wasn't into, but I don't know. If you're into like teenage mystery, then maybe this is your show.
Teenage
Yeah.
mystery.
I mean, it just felt a lot like you weren't there for the OC, right?
No,
It was
or was I?
maybe I think you were.
I was there for
Nick
the
and
OC
Barry.
because Nick was there and Barry was
Yeah.
there, and they made sound effects.
It felt a lot
Oh,
like
that was probably the worst episode of the show ever when they broke in.
I thought it was fun.
it felt a lot like the end of the OC, like in that like the production got a little sillier. There was more like jokes and stuff. It was a little bit more light. They did the flashback thing.
The OCs felt more like together. This felt more sporadic.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters.
There's so much
doing
going
stuff.
on in this. And Lisa Loeb shows up. Like, it's weird.
Lisa Loeb, she gets to be on whatever show she wants.
Oh, I have another like fun quote from a parent. It was the dad yelling at the son, I think. I forget.
What dad and son?
Yeah, what dad and
I think
son?
it was the one that he killed. So
it was Chuck and
Chuck
his dad.
killed his dad. And it said, your Lifetime movie is called Nobody Gives a Damn. Ooh. That is a fucking burn.
Maybe the whole lesson of this show is that give someone a chance and they can learn and grow.
And eventually murder.
Or
Hashtag Chuck's a
it
good guy.
or is it if you're creepy enough and stalk people enough, you will eventually get in the group and marry one of them.
So it's Dan's show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Me,
that too.
Gossip Girl.
Yeah.
I mean, he even like sneaked his sister, apparently.
It's like they said all this, and then Blair was like, oh, I'm sorry. I can't. I keep wanting to call Serena Blair. Then Serena was like, no, I'm fine with that. I'm not mad. And it's
Yeah.
like, really? You're not mad about this?
Apparently, he made her life miserable, and
Yeah,
she's
and he like told a
fine
bunch
with
of her
it.
secrets. Well, then again, they had 5 years between the reveal and them getting married, so maybe they worked it out in between.
No, she said 5 years before that when they were all sitting around in a room. They told it was like Chuck and I can't remember her name now.
Blair.
Chuck and Blair ran in, and she was like, "You were Gossip Girl?" Like right when she found out, and Serena was like, "Yeah, I'm not really that mad, so you shouldn't be that mad." And it was like, "Wait a minute, you just found this 5 minutes ago."
Well, she read it over on her plane. She couldn't stop reading the final chapter.
Yeah, in her fucking private charter jet.
And then there was your girl from Buffy.
Yeah, Michelle Trachtenberg.
You were about her.
She was great in Buffy. She was a very, very different character in this show.
Okay.
So she must be a great actor because she was a very different character. So that was fine. But she wasn't Gossip Girl.
No.
Basically, I watched the show and I went, this is not for me. This show has like never been for me. I don't think. I'm not into it. But I also spent college. We watched Smallville in college, which is about the same time this show was on. And I just thought, you know what? I feel like everybody just around this time had a dumb show like this and they just watched it with their friends. And then that was their show kind of thing. Mine was Smallville. Some people's were apparently Gossip Girl. Some were Gilmore Girls. Like,
Nobody watched. No, in college I was not watching Gilmore Girls. That was like a secret thing.
when were you watching it?
That was like high school. By the time you get to college, you're not like openly. It's like you're not openly watching Seventh Heaven. Like you're not doing that.
You are if you're like
If
fine
you're cool,
with
but like I wasn't that
it.
cool.
You were like you thought people
no,
were
but
like
I think
judging
I
you.
had a lot of friends that got together to watch Grey's Anatomy, and I understand what you're saying. Or like there's like Game of Thrones right now. People get together and watch that shit.
Well, no, Game of Thrones is like a show that Game of Thrones is like a phenomenon, like in a way. Like everybody watched Game of Thrones.
Except for us.
Well, that's fine, but I'm just saying like not everybody watched Gossip Girl. Like not everyone watched Gilmore Girls. Not everyone watched Smallville. Not everyone watched Seventh Heaven or One Tree Hill or whatever. Like all those are like slice of life. Like it has to hit you at the right time, and that's kind of like why you watched it. Shows like.
So you're saying you couldn't get back into this? Because I think that if like
No,
you
no,
gave me like a rainy, if we had another
I'd have to
like,
watch
polar
this-
vortex, let's imagine that the temperature in this room is the opposite of what it is right now.
Oh God!
It
you
is
mean my dream?
so cold we're dying,
Ugh.
right? And
I
I
wouldn't
can't
be-
leave my house, and you're like, okay, you have to choose between this and another show, right?
What's my other show?
Cougar Town.
Ooh.
I'm probably watching
Ooh.
Gossip Girl. You'd be watching Cougar Town?
I might be giving Cougar Town a shot, man. There's more jokes
You
per
really?
minute.
Oh, okay. So there really aren't the jokes in this.
Maybe
I feel like it's a winter show.
I mean, maybe. Here's the deal. The only part of me that's gonna like watch this show is a part of me that is apparently watching it now with a big group of friends, and I'm like doing it ironically. And then
Yeah.
I do that for 15 episodes, and then all of a sudden I'm like invested. But
Yeah.
like, there's no way I'm like popping on episode 2 when you guys leave, and I'm not going to 3 and 4, and like I'm not doing that by myself. It's not happening.
Yeah, I don't see this on your
But
list.
I mean,
Somebody, though, on your Netflix queue has gotten deep in
what
this show.
is that? Yeah, we turn on my Netflix to watch the show, and someone has watched seasons 1 and all but one episode of 2.
It's like, how could you not watch the last
Yeah,
episode?
even if you wanted to quit, just watch the finale, right? You don't just stop with one
guess.
episode left.
It's always a cliffhanger,
That's
though.
madness.
What if you look at it tomorrow and like another 3 episodes have been watched?
Oh shit! I'm gonna,
Secretly, Joe.
I'm gonna text around. Who's watching Gossip Girl? So no, I don't think this is a bad show. I don't think it's for me. It's definitely not for me now. And I see why people did it. It's just that time. Like if someone would have back then said like, "Let's watch a show," I'd been like, "Whatever."
Yeah.
And then we all would have got sucked into it. I'm sure we all would have watched it. But like, no.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say about this topic, but I feel like it should be mentioned that yesterday they announced that they're rebooting this show
Jesus
on HBO
Christ.
Max.
Really?
Yeah. It was like brand new cast, but it's
The
Gossip Girl.
Gossip Girl will never end, and
Mhm.
it's always gonna be a creepy guy. So just get ready.
Yeah, I wonder if they're just gonna like keep that, so everyone's like, "Oh, it's Doug." I know it's Doug. That's
From the
right away.
beginning, it's like,
Right away.
it's Weird Doug,
It's
isn't
Weird Doug.
it?
There's one rule in Gossip Girl, and it's gotta
Do
be
you
a
think
lonely
that the
dude.
remake will have these people as like the parents? Is it gonna be one of those?
No.
No.
Okay, thank God.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be involved at all.
HBO Max.
Apparently HBO is like starting a streaming service
Oh,
I could
not HBO Go.
and not HBO Now.
or Go
What the freak? Why?
or Instant or
This is so
Max.
confusing. I'm also like really struggling with like Google Music because they're like trying to do YouTube Music and it's the same kind of crap. Like pick one, build it up, be Google Now
well, why
or
not?
not Google Now.
Why not just do
but HBO Now? Or,
2 and make double the money?
okay, well, okay, that's true. I'm not in business. Nobody.
Why
ever
are you
thought of
confused?
anyone.
You just pick the one you want to use and just use that one.
Because one gets updated faster than the other, and it's very frustrating.
What do you mean updated? Are you like trying to bounce off these mad new hits like immediately?
I mean, you know,
Like,
I get into that.
you waiting
deep
for that?
hit.
You waiting for that new Drake album? Like you
Well,
can't wait.
okay, if we're really gonna get into this, the YouTube Music app is fine, but like it's like you're looking up videos. It's not the same thing as a music app. It doesn't search the same way.
Well, then don't use it.
I like, but it's the thing that updates the most.
All right.
So if I want these deep,
You
fresh
want,
cuts,
You want that new fresh Drake? You gotta go.
I
YouTube
gotta
music.
go with that.
You want that fresh
I don't know.
Gaga?
It's a struggle, but like, let's go back to this show, Gossip Girl.
What about it?
I mean, I was just right. So like, I'm feeling really good right now,
Just wanna
except for
get
the
it.
heat of the day over here.
We can let's just run through these.
Let's see who got the most
well,
points.
We'll put our predictions in an email. Let's just wrap it up.
Wow.
We'll send an email
too
to all
bad.
our listeners.
Claire,
You're not even glistening over there.
Claire, roll you through yours, Miss.
Okay.
I was right.
I would love to. Okay, first off, parents are not together. Lily's with one of the Baldwin brothers. I was wrong.
What parents were not together? Who parents? Did you say?
Lily and Rufus. Right. So
Oh
Lily,
yeah, we both did
yeah,
that. Yeah.
that's wrong. Chuck is not in jail. Okay, we haven't touched on that. He is loved. You guys get some points. Whatever. He's still gross.
We understand how these shows work.
Yeah.
I'm frustrated.
He still
but-
looks like a serial killer.
But I think that the thing we didn't see in the episode, but I think the thing that they try to do is cover up his background by saying that his dad was abusive. So, like, that's why he's an asshole.
It's not an excuse.
It's not an excuse, but it's also, like, a really, like, thinly veiled reasoning for this and not to get somebody help. Like, anyway, just saying. Punches will fly and sex will almost happen.
no.
Somebody got pushed off a roof.
I mean, he got punched. He punched his dad.
Did he punch his dad?
I think his dad punched him, right?
Somebody got punched in that scenario.
But I don't
No
even-
sex almost happened, though.
That was in the last time though, so I don't
Unless-
feel like I don't count that.
Oh, that was a
The
a
previous
recap?
okay, so that one doesn't count.
Yep.
And then I said that the Gossip Girl is the brother of Jenny equals Dan, and so I'm right.
Yep. Why is there's
Way
a
to
cat
go.
and he's
So I got
flipping out.
one whole point. Feeling good about it.
Good times.
Nice, way to go.
I'm a winner.
I had that Chuck is cool with the group. He's the Piccolo, so that's a point. They had an OC type flashback, and they did that at like the wedding part.
Yeah.
That's a point. Empire State
That's
Building.
That's weak.
That's off.
I mean, he even like it really did feel OC, and he like called
Okay.
that out specifically.
Called it out.
Yeah. He was using
Um,
metadata, like he was going deep.
He's trying to go so fast because he's hot.
yeah. I had Eric as the Gossip Girl, which is wrong.
No.
No.
But it seems like Eric may be boning the Gossip Girl's sister.
Oh. Weird.
Yeah, think about it. So you got 1?
2.
That means that
2.
like both siblings are dating each other's siblings.
So?
That's a lot of interloping.
There's no one's mixing blood here.
I'm
That's
not saying
true.
they are, but that's really strange to like marry. Like I'm gonna marry this guy, and then my sister's gonna marry his brother.
It's
Or flipped it.
odd, but it's not necessarily.
It's not gross, but it's
Yeah.
gross. It's kind of gross.
Is that gross, or is the fact that Chuck's their friend worse?
Chuck needed some serious help.
Yeah. So Rufus and Serena's mom are together. No, that did not happen. However, Serena's moving to California. She
Yeah.
was trying to get away and leave on a plane somewhere, but she didn't leave.
She didn't go. She had to stay back with her friends and family.
Chuck is a good guy now.
Ugh.
That is unfortunately
What if
true.
at the wedding at the end, like Jenny showed up and she's like, "Wait, you guys are cool with Chuck now? What the fuck's going on?"
Oh my god, yes, I would have loved that. And yeah, Jenny, she should never be cool with Chuck ever. Okay, whatever, we're done with that. Fuck Chuck. Gossip Girl, guys, write into us at F&L Podcast on Gmail or on Twitter and tell us why we should like Chuck. There's no where did he redeem himself?
Somebody should tell us.
Did
because
he
this is
save
gross.
a bus full of kids from a bomb?
I bet he did do like something to
did
save
he something
someone's
amazingly
Yeah.
heroic?
Well, there was an accident or something that happened, and that's why the Gossip Girl stopped gossiping.
Yeah, someone should have accidentally shot Chuck in the face.
Maybe they did.
And then my last one is Gossip Girl is Michelle Trachtenberg, a.k.a. Georgina Sparks. That is not true. That didn't happen. So I'm going to take my 1 point.
We tied. We all tied.
No, Joe got 2.
I got 2, and then I got the point.
Oh,
from
you
earlier.
got 3 because he got that
Oh,
extra point.
Get that point.
Joe got the first point.
Wow.
So Joe's running away with
You
3
are
here.
just crushing it.
I'm
Try-
the best.
Trying to catch up to Jimmy while he's away saving the Crocs.
I don't think I've gotten a point all season though, to be honest.
I feel like this is a low scoring season and Jimmy's going away.
And I feel
with
like I've
this
been
right
making normal predictions. I'm not trying to be wacky.
now. I don't know. Well,
You're like so upset about it.
I'm so hot. I need to be done talking. We
This
need to
cat
leave.
Needs
There's
some
a
pets.
there's a cat outside the door screaming. I don't know if the microphones hear that. I'm pretty sure that the bedroom door is shut and the air conditioner is on, and therefore
Oh.
Pete can't get inside.
Oh man, get in the AC, Pete.
Yeah, he knows what's fucking up. So I gotta go let a cat in a bedroom. We gotta go get out of this heat.
Yeah.
We will see you next week for a show that I hopefully understand more. Cool. See you guys. Bye.
XOXO Gossip Girl. Somebody had to say it. You guys have said it every time.
XOXO Spaghetti Claire.
You've been saying it wrong every time.
XOXO. Pasta pals.